Welcome to FPB's Meet the Candidates. I'm Kathy Lindsay. This Cable 10 program allows you, the viewer, to hear directly from candidates who are running for local office. We've gathered questions through social media and email so that we can ask questions that we know are important to the community and just to hear what the different candidates think about them. This is all leading up to the primary on May 19th. And today we have a special guest. It's Dalaina Bean, and she is running for Magistrate of the 6th District.
Hello.
Thank you so much for taking time to be here.
No problem.
So really, because this is a primary and you're a rookie.
I am.
You've never run for public office before, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, now, so we need to get to know you a little bit.
So, I have worked in Frankfort for about 20 plus years within the community as a server, bartender, manager of local restaurants, of course. Mm-hmm. Currently, I work for Historic Properties. And during COVID, I got the bright idea to finish school. So I got my Bachelor of Arts at KSU. And decided shortly thereafter, why should I stop there? So I continued my education at Eastern Kentucky University in the Master's of Public Administration program. I will finish that in the spring.
That's exciting.
So I'm really excited about that.
Sure.
In doing that, I've learned so much about leadership, about policy, mm-hmm. about how our own behaviors affect policy and how it's written and made. So much about leadership that I thought I already knew. Mm-hmm. So in doing that, and with, I'm also getting a certificate in disaster relief and community development there too.
Okay. So
in learning about emergency management during that time, the flood happened. So I was able to see a real world problem that while it had fixes in place, some people went without.
Right.
So that really prompted me to step into the local office arena.
Okay. So would you say that's what motivated you to run?
100%.
Okay. So you're running for Magistrate of the 6th District. Can you tell us what areas that covers?
So the 6th District covers Bell Point, where I currently am, mm-hmm. Bald Knob, St. John's, Choteville. I'm missing one.
Hickory
Hills.
Yeah.
And it's not Bald Knob, but it has two names to it.
Bell Point?
Nope, got Bell Point already.
Okay.
What's my last one?
Bridgeport.
That's it. For some reason, that one always gets me.
So these are fairly rural areas for the most part. Yeah. What do you believe is the proper role of fiscal government in residents' everyday lives? So, what is just enough as far as when they should step in and when they should stay out?
I think that line is very skewed at the moment.
Okay.
I feel like local government should step in when we're looking at infrastructure issues, when we're looking at issues that affect the community as a whole, mm-hmm. when we're looking at bigger problems within the district that need to be addressed. The smaller things, like, for instance, someone having cars in their yard, is not something that I personally want to get involved with.
Right.
Now, if the neighbor calls and says, hey, this is really bothering me, that would be a step that I would take to go talk to the residents, see what we could do to help, and move forward that way.
Okay. In a primary, which is what we're in now, voters are choosing between candidates with similar values. So why are you the strongest advocate for rural areas like Bald Knob?
So I grew up in Eastern Kentucky, mm-hmm. In Martin County, to be specific. Mm-hmm. Population was a little over 500 when we moved. So I grew up in rural Kentucky. I'm very aware of what rural Kentucky means and what the values are there. I have had the pleasure of visiting Bald Knob, Rhett's Market up there, and kind of got to talk to some of the locals, including Bill Murray, and kind of got an overview of how Bald Knob works. And it reminded me so much of living in Eastern Kentucky. It's an easy way of life. Everybody helps everybody, looking out for one another. And I just want to be involved in that and help in any way that I can.
Okay. So do you feel like this experience gives you an edge over your primary opponents?
I don't know that it gives me an edge. More so it gives me an understanding of where they are and meeting them where they are.
So what would you say is something you still need to learn?
Oh my goodness. My favorite thing to say is knowledge is power, and nobody can take that from you. Part of gaining knowledge is implanting yourself in those areas and learning about the people and experiences and things that they love, things that they don't love so much, and working towards a common goal. Education is everything. So my hope is to get on the ground soon when Kentucky Weather wants to cooperate and get around to these communities and see everybody.
Yeah. The weather is an issue.
You know what they say in Kentucky, just wait till tomorrow.
So members of your party often agree on broad principles. What would you say, where do you take a different approach when it comes to local government?
So I have been personally in many situations. For instance, I had my niece for about a year while her parents took care of themselves. And because there was no place for supervised visitations here in Frankfort, we had to go to Shelbyville once or twice a week, which, while it was great for her, it took away from my family because we're talking 45 minutes one and back plus the hour visit.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've seen there is the need for a place for visitation for kids here in Frankfort. I have, of course, been around the community in the restaurant business, and you hear talk and chatter about local politics, things that are bothering the locals or that they'd like to see changed. So I have that for sure. And I feel like I'm very approachable and understanding, and I'm one that will gain the knowledge before I will give you an answer. For example, I'm doing my capstone on the combining of local government here in Frankfort, and I'm doing that because when I announced my running in the paper, a gentleman asked what was my stance on that.
On merger of city and county government.
And I thought, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I couldn't answer him.
Yeah.
So I was able to take that and roll it into my capstone for my final semester.
Okay.
So we'll see.
There you go. So you are running in the Democratic primary.
Yes, ma'am.
So how do you balance party values with specific needs of Franklin County residents?
So party values and party lines in local government, they are interesting, I will say. My morals and values lie deep in the mountains of Eastern Kentucky, where I was raised and where a lot of my family still resides. However, I do lean on my party as being a little more understanding, open to learn, open to gain the knowledge that's required to take care of our communities and the people within it, the infrastructure, the understanding of problems that they see every single day.
Yeah. Well, as we were saying, the 6th district includes rural communities like Bald Knob. What do you see as the biggest challenges facing residents in your district?
I would say the biggest challenge facing residents in the district is probably, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm so sorry. It would probably be lack of resources. Bald Knob has put together a community outreach that helps take care of the Bald Knob community. And I'd like to see that put in place in other communities. For instance, Bell Point didn't have a contact person for flood benefits. Bell Point is kind of a melting pot of older adults, renters, kids, families starting out. And there was really no one down there knocking on doors saying, this is your option. This is how you attain it. Let me walk you through it. Instead, the information was delivered as best as it could be, but a lot of those people didn't have access to their television to watch, or didn't have access to a charger to get on their phone. And a lot of people don't understand the process. So resources is a huge
On the ground advocates.
on the ground advocates.
So how will you ensure that these concerns aren't overshadowed by more populated parts of the county?
It is so important to focus on the little people. The little people are who gets the job done. So I'm hoping to incorporate volunteers, maybe a position as someone who would take care of the emergency positions like that. When we do, which we will, have another flood, who is going to be in that position? I would happily walk for my district, and others for that matter, just to be able to pour back into the community that welcomed me so many years ago.
Okay. So, again, we've said that you're a newbie, and just wondering if you've been kind of following along what the fiscal court has been doing, and is there one decision the current fiscal court has made that you would have done differently?
I have been following along with fiscal court. I've been to a couple of meetings, but most of them I watch online.
Yeah. Through Cable 10.
Through Cable 10, yes, ma'am. And while I haven't had a chance to dig deep, which I'm doing after I leave here, I actually have a meeting with Jack Kennedy.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to dig deep into notes and understanding of some of the issues that they're facing. One that I truly support is what is going on with the Family Wellness Center. I'm really excited about seeing that come to fruition.
In general, with Franklin County, what do you see as the top 3 issues facing our county right now?
Franklin County is a melting pot, and that's what I love about it. I think we need to focus, of course, on housing, making our renters market a little less saturated and more attainable, making the houses that are currently for rent safe and up to code.
Okay.
And finding other possibilities for those facing homelessness, because it's a real thing out here.
Yeah, it is.
So that first.
Are there specific actions you would take to address these? Do you have, just any policy ideas or things that you would like to do if you were on the court?
So I've been in that conversation with the property manager at Hickory Hills about things that they need personally. And while I'm not in a position yet to make a difference there, I am in a position to pull together my resources and the people that I know in hopes to further that community a little bit more. So taking steps there, and policy-wise, I would have to really look into what I would like to see in a policy of that sort,
Sure.
because it would include a lot of things, but it would also exclude a lot of things that are currently out there.
Sure, sure. Let's see. We talked about kind of, your interest in things in the 6th District and supporting rural communities. Do you have one specific policy or project that you would champion for the 6th District?
I think the biggest one that I would champion for the 6th District is having someone in place who is there for emergency management specifically, because emergencies just don't happen by the river. They happen out in the country too. They happen when the roads washed away because of rain, extensive rain, which we love here in Kentucky.
Sure.
So I would like to see someone in an emergency management position that could direct these areas a little better.
Okay. How would you approach balancing the county budget while maintaining essential services?
That would be something that I'd really have to educate myself on.
Yeah.
And something that I will be educating myself on, because that will be imperative for my capstone paper.
Yeah.
I think that county services do get overlooked sometimes, especially those in the rural areas. I think there needs to be a consistency there, something that they can depend on, but something that is also fiscally responsible for Frankfort as a whole.
Okay. You're kind of getting into some questions I have coming up, so that's good.
Awesome.
So what would be your priorities for investment in our community?
I would like to see investment in housing. I would love to see investment in economic development. I would also like to see investment in that wellness center. I would love a place for kids and families to go, a pool open all year for water sports that have really been overlooked here in Frankfort since the closing of the Y pool. So things of that nature.
Okay. Do you see infrastructure investments that are particularly urgent right now? I mean, we're talking about water, roads, broadband, that you would advocate for?
Specifically, I can't touch on that because I'm not educated on it.
Yeah.
However, there's definitely areas where the county can improve, especially in roadways, in infrastructure, period. I think that every county can use infrastructure updates. And again, something I just need to educate myself on so that I'll be able to go further in there.
So, how would you approach land use decisions that may pit development against preserving rural character?
I think that you have to understand the rural communities in order to understand that question.
Okay.
And I feel like I really do. Rural communities they live there because they want to live there. They enjoy the peace, the serenity, the being able to have so many acres of land and nobody close. So I would not approve of something like, for instance, a housing development.
Yeah.
Go up beside someone who owns 10 acres of land because they're there because they want to be there. Instead, I would like to see something like that kind of in an area downtown or on the outskirts of the east side or west side.
Okay. The fiscal court, if you're on the court, it requires working with city government and other organizations. How would you build those relationships?
I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of the people already in local office and government, and working with them on events rather than in a sense of the court.
Sure.
I look forward to definitely meeting those who come in, those newbies like me, and those who have been there for a while,
Yeah.
and understanding their whys, understanding their wants, and getting to know them a little bit better.
Yeah. We've talked about it before. You've mentioned housing a few times. So the question that we had in was, what are your thoughts on housing affordability and availability in Franklin County, and what can the court do about it?
Housing affordability and availability, say that 5 times real fast. It's kind of null and non-existent in Franklin County. There's a wait list at every apartment building you turn to. Rental houses are either no longer available or no longer affordable. It is a crying situation, and I would hope that the fiscal court is already visiting a way to update facilities that are already there, maybe add on to those facilities, or add more facilities for people who are in those positions. I know we shined a big light on that after the flood when there were so many people displaced.
Right, yeah.
A lot of people had to move to different counties.
Right.
Because there was no housing here.
Right.
Which is a huge problem.
It takes away from our schools. And,
Exactly.
yeah, just businesses in general.
Yes, ma'am. So I would like to see at least be in the talks of more affordable housing developments that we can add to Frankfurt.
Okay. Kind of on the other side of that coin is that we have seems like a growing community of those who are unhoused. And, we see more like standing on the corners, asking for assistance. Do you see anything that the court can do to mitigate that?
We do have the men's shelter here. What we don't have is a facility for women that can keep them overnight, that doesn't require certain standards. While I think every housing should require certain standards, I think that maybe opening a women's shelter would be beneficial for the homeless population.
Okay. That kind of got one of my questions was, how should the county address issues like addiction and mental health, and then also the homelessness?
So dealt with addiction myself. I come from a long line of addicts, and in doing so, you learn a lot about being on the outside of it.
Yeah.
And it creates a lot of empathy for the situation that these people are in. I like what's going on currently with the fiscal court regarding addiction and the programs that they've made available. I would like to make sure and see through that those who are called to help handle these situations have knowledge of mental health issues, have knowledge of addiction, and things like that, so that they can handle the situation a little more positively, instead of just dragging someone to jail and not really understanding what's behind it.
Sure. Are there any partnerships that you would prioritize to address this?
That's something I would definitely have to look into.
Yeah.
Partnership with programs that are in mental health and in addiction counseling are a huge, huge help to the community. Sure. So I would definitely look into something of that nature.
Okay. Do you think the fiscal court, which is a public government, obviously, is adequately transparent? And if not, what steps would you take to make it more transparent?
I think that the law requires them to be so transparent. Although it doesn't require a full transparency. I think it would definitely depend on a request, depending on what they are requesting and what is legally allowed for us to provide. At the same time, I learned in my leadership class that transparency and honesty are two of the biggest things in leadership in order to really appeal to your public. So I would definitely look into transparency, the laws, what it requires, and how much information we can give. On my end, though, I am 100% transparent. So,
Okay. We like transparency.
yes,
here.
ma'am.
Community support is an important part of public service. And, you know, if you're running for local office, that's all about public service.
Yes, ma'am.
So what civic organizations or nonprofits have you actively assisted in recent years?
So I have been raising children these past few years and haven't gotten greatly involved with my community besides service at restaurants and such. But I am currently, again, working with the manager at Hickory Hills, was in contact with Bridging the Gap and also Rachel Moore regarding that. Of course, fiercely support Frankfort Independent Schools.
Sure.
That's where my kids go, and that is who has, I'm telling you, teachers don't get enough credit. But that's where my kids go, and that's the community that helped raise them.
Sure.
So I've done a lot there as well.
All right. Well, now it's your turn to look directly into the camera. Talk to our viewers. Tell them about the goals you're going to champion during your term and why you're the best candidate to serve the 6th District.
Hi, everyone. Want to talk about a few things. We're going to touch on emergency management for sure. Again, emergencies don't just happen downtown around water. They happen everywhere. And it would be so nice to have someone in place that could mitigate that emergency for you or hand it to your magistrate to mitigate. Also want to look into affordable housing, potentially updating those housing units that fall under code currently, and potentially adding more. I would also love to see an area for kids to participate with their parents in a visit that is court ordered. Here in Frankfort, we haven't had that in some time, specifically since the Sunshine Center closed down, I believe. And I would love to see something like that come to life here so that reunification of parents and children, when it's time, can happen. Also, I am so excited to pour back into the community that really poured into me when I moved here to Frankfort. I was newly divorced and needed that extra love that you all gave my children and I, and really appreciate all of the thoughts and help that we received along the way. I just want to be able to give that back. If you would like to learn more about my initiatives, you can visit Dalaina Bean, 4 Magistrate.com. And there is an area there to meet me, to contact me, and to look at my initiatives. There is also a Facebook page, Dalaina Bean for Franklin County Magistrate, and you can learn a little bit about my whys there and kind of how I work.
All right. Well, we want to thank you so much for coming today. And I know our viewers appreciate hearing from you. Again, it's Dalaina Bean. She is the candidate for magistrate in the 6th District. And then to our viewers, remember to go out and vote in the May 19th primary, and then tune into Cable 10 because we're going to have live election returns. It's election season, so it's time to go voice your choice. We'll see you next time on Meet the Candidates.